If you want to see us check out a new area and practice some skills, stay tuned. We've downloaded a map from the internet, printed it off, and we're going to use it to check out this new area. There are paths marked. First thing to do is check paths marked on the map with paths marked on the ground. Spring has sprung. We've got extra packs on the rucksack. We've got our compass as well as our map. So we're ready. First thing to do is set the map and the compass to north. Then take a northerly direction from one path to the other, and we'll see how it goes cross country. As you might expect, there are more paths on the ground than there are on the map. So what we've got to do is find one place that can definitely be identified. So what we'll have to do is base our movement on sense of direction, not very good, position of sun, better, and compass, best. The downloaded aerial photograph, although good, in this case isn't much help. It was taken when the trees were in full leaf and a lot of the paths are hidden. We're checking this path against our compass and we can see that it's in more or less the right direction, which is good enough for the moment. The path has ended and I can see that the next bit of land goes downhill. In theory, if we go straight ahead, i.e. north, we should come to the stream very, very quickly. So what I'm going to do is find a place where the undergrowth is not too thick and then head downhill and north. So we found a spot here. We're going to check it out and see if we can get downhill towards the stream. We've moved a few yards along the main path and found a subsidiary one that seems to be going in the right direction. We're going to follow this and hopefully come to the stream. A quick check of direction shows us that we're going in more or less the right direction. Seeing as we're having a good look around and we don't need to be exact, this is good enough. We can correct later. Well, it's been raining for quite a number of weeks now and some areas are particularly horrible, and this is one of them. And as you can see, Monty loves horrible, lovely, squishy mud. So what we're going to do is walk around it and then continue downhill. The other side of the hill is covered with equally lush growth, which means it too will be damp and wet and muddy underfoot, at least at this time of the year. It's quite easy to mistake part-time rivulets for paths and find the extra muddy way from top to bottom. Be a good source of water, but as you can see after Monty's been in it, you'd have to filter it first, then boil it, then Steritab it. Here Monty's found some river sand and is having a good dig. The river sand will form an important part of any improvised water filter. Sphagnum moss is always a sign of damp ground. We're off the beaten track and there's not much of a phone system. It behoves you to check your mobile phone system as you go around, especially if you're on your own. Here we've got some new growth. At the moment it impedes movement. Later on it'll prevent it. You've got to bear this in mind when you're checking out an area for later use. The side path may not be well defined, but it's easy enough to follow at the moment and it doesn't go straight downhill, so it's got a good chance of being less muddy than some of the others. A quick check of direction with the compass against the sun just to confirm that we're moving westwards. It doesn't need to be exact because we're only exploring and visibility is good. We're approaching the edge of the wood. We can see the gate, and if we turn to the left we can see the pylons. We can make an accurate pinpoint of where we are on the map. Having done that, we can then sort out our further directions. We're starting the return journey. A quick check on the compass, not because we need to, but because it's good practice. and we'll start on our way eastwards-ish. The marker pole tells us that we're on one of the nominated tracks. Also, as it's quite high and straight, you could, at a push, use it for finding north by the sun stick method. If you have a watch, you can calculate how far you've gone by measuring the time and knowing your speed of travel. Also, you can work out the distance by pacing. My pacing on the flat is usually 62 double paces to 100 metres. I've reached the junction after 2.5 minutes of fairly gentle walking. This equates to the distance that I guesstimated on the map. This is not a bad little compass. You can buy it for about £5, €7, and it's a good mix between a Lensiatic and a board compass. The only problem is I don't know how accurate it is. So what I'll do is I'll take it out another day and check it against 2 or 3 of my other compasses. Nobody needs a compass that doesn't work all the time. Now that the weather's getting better, there's even less excuse not to get out there. Get training. You know it makes sense. It will serve you well.